You know, every now and then you see a headline that really makes you double take. And this is going to be one of those. Ecuadorian Navy sailing ship interdicts drug smugglers in the Pacific. Now, I got this first from a friend who sent it to me and said something along the lines of like, "Oh, who says a speedboat can outrun a a sailing boat?" Well, generally they can, but this isn't just a speedboat or a motorboat, I guess would be a more correct term. This is a fucking narco submarine. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. It's pretty interesting stuff. But let's first talk about the actual ship that we're dealing with here. So this is the BAE Guayas, I think is how you pronounce that, which is a barquey. I think how I say it. Sailboat. And when being a barquey, what that means specifically is if you look here, its front or its foremast and its main mast are square rigged, but its mizzen mast here is fore aft rigged, which means there will be a sail that comes down right here alongside these little flaglets, and then there will be a spinnaker, or not spinnaker, a gaff sail right here. Actually, I think it might technically be a spanker because the sails are coming from the bottom. High-speed smuggling vessel. I'm wondering how they actually got a hold of this guy. Either they snuck up on it, or it was disabled in some way, or docked maybe. Let's go through this and figure out what's going on here. Let's see, sailing ship BAE Guayas caught the low-profile vessel within the 200 nautical miles of Colombian exclusive economic zone. So this ship has 120 sailors aboard as well as 80 cadets. So it's a training ship. A lot of navies have sailing training ships like this. I'm not exactly sure why they do this. Maybe it's just to maintain the tradition of tall ship sailing. But either way, Ecuadorian sailors go aboard this ship and learn how to sail tall ships. So the Guayas school ship carrying out its international instruction cruise. So I guess not just Ecuadorian sailors, but just sailors from all over. Able to interdict and subsequently capture this vessel. These artisan-made LPV-type vessels are regularly used by transnational narco-criminal organizations for the transport of substances subject to control due to their carrying capacity. I don't think it's due to their carrying capacity, I think it's the fact that they're literal fucking submarines. Well, okay, so they're partially submersible. A ship like this, a vessel like this, you see it has outboards, so this thing's obviously an oxygen-breathing ship. But what they do is they're so low to the water and their color is water-like that the water just goes right over the top of them, right? But they stay very close to the surface, and there's very little of them outside of water. They call them narco submarines, but they're semi-submersibles. Somewhere between a little bit and a whole fuckload. So they only release imagery. So they did find some. Sorry, my fuel tank's very interesting. Yeah, I like hulls and more diesels. Yeah, man, I wonder how they actually do this. Like, how do they actually catch this guy? So an interesting fact about this ship here is that it actually it has a metal hull. I'm not sure if that's common in modern sailboats. Very interesting either way. So being a sailing vessel, a tall ship that's caught a submarine does two interesting things for this boat and for, I guess, history in general. One, it makes this the latest sailing ship, I guess you could say, to engage in a legitimate naval action. Even though it didn't fight the submarine, it did interdict and capture a ship. So this is the latest, I guess, combat action, I guess you could say, that's ever occurred in 2021 by a tall ship, by a proper sailing vessel. And the second interesting thing this does is, as far as I know, that makes this the only sailboat that has ever successfully hunted a submarine. So this is the world's first sub-hunting sailboat, and I think that's absolutely hilarious.